Welcome back to the Racing Post Football Postcast. I'm Ian Wilkerson with Dan Childs, Mark Langdon and Malachy Rooney from Paddy Power. One last game, Tottenham against Watford. Quick play for both clubs.
Capoue,
Alan Nielsen,
Gomez.
Espen Barson.
Yeah.
There's loads, aren't
Jerry
there?
Armstrong, Mark Falco.
Yeah, there's loads of Watford
Yeah.
Tottenham. It's not far,
Darren
is it?
Caskey.
Dan Childs supports both
Yeah,
clubs.
Dan Childs supports both clubs. So can we just have the prices on this game at Wembley then, Malachy?
Yeah, so Tottenham are 1-7 to win. The draw is 13-2, and Watford are 14-1.
Dan, we ought to let you go first.
Eunice Cabal, Etienne Capoue. Just in the current team. But this is Spurs need a result here, really. I mean, they've got a nice 5-point gap to Chelsea, but there's going to be a few alarm bells ringing. The fact that you've had the run of 3 games now without a win, losing that big game against Man City, played quite poorly really in that game against Man United in the Cup semi-final. Went down quite meekly, I thought, after Man United went 2-1 up. And the Brighton game was a disappointing performance as well. A 1-1 was a fair result. So they do need to just, if Chelsea, as we're thinking, win at Swansea, the gap is 2 points. So it does put a bit of pressure on. Having said that, if you want a game to get back on the horse, if you like, and get 3 points, this is it. I mean, I watch Watford regular at home. They're still performing to a decent level at Vicarage Road. Away from home, their form is completely gone. I mean, the last 11 away games, won none, drawn 1, lost 10 the last 11 away games. So this is the game really for Spurs. I can see why they're so short to win it. But my bet, because it's such a short price, Dele Alli 6-1 scored the first goal. Backy's playing a lot better now. Got the goal against Man United. That was his 4th in the last 6 games. 6-1 to me sounds a big price.
He was busy playing his computer games last night, and he was streaming himself playing his computer games rather than...
Watford are the kings of the sort of wind-down wallies. They've been on the beach. They did it last year. They're doing it again.
Yeah, they are. I do wonder whether the Wembley factor, because Newcastle and Leicester are other teams that have got nothing to play for. I do wonder whether playing at Wembley just slightly sort of pricks the ears a little bit of sort of any player. If you had nothing to play for at White Hart Lane, is it different to having nothing to play for at Wembley? Maybe the team will
sold out the allocation. They got the 3,000 fans.
I mean, I think it is slightly different playing at Wembley, a dead rubber even for a team like Watford. They've got nothing to play for. Javi Gracia, the manager at Malaga, under reputation for being able to frustrate sort of the better teams in La Liga. And so I think the Tottenham mood is low, not only among the players, I think among the fans as well, not expecting a great atmosphere. I think any feel-good factor from Wembley that had been built up over the season just sort of disappeared in that last half an hour against Manchester United in the semi-final. I was looking at Watford plus 2.5 goals. Now, it's 7-10, so it's an odds-on bet, but I think Tottenham would take a 1-goal victory here.
Yeah.
And I think Watford almost would as well. They don't sort of strike me as the kind of team that would desperately go hunting down a draw or whatever. So
not a comprehensive Spurs win.
Just a low margin Tottenham win.
And what about you, Malachy? What do you like?
Yeah, I'm of a very similar opinion to the lads. I don't think that Spurs are going to run riot. I don't think they need to, and I don't think Watford will put up much of a fight. So I couldn't disagree with anything that was said there. I'd say Tottenham in a low-scoring game. Yeah,
I agree with Dan. I think that Harry Kane has not been himself since he's had that little injury, and that's offers a bit of value in the first goal scorer market.
Sorry, Wilco, I did have a look at the first goal. I'd wonder about if you fancy Kane. I'd be looking at like the hat trick, because he's hunting down the golden boot, and it was in garbage time last season that he ran riot against Hull and Leicester. And if he kind of has got this sort of real determination to win the golden boot, I was looking at sort of the 2+ and hat trick, because this is the time to get going. If you fancy that, I don't fancy Spurs to run riot,
they've not been.
If you do, a Harry Kane hat trick was something I'd written down.
Yeah, hopefully you might be able to rediscover some of that form that he showed at the end of the last season, because it's been a bit quite a couple of weeks for him. Dele Alli 6-1 or 15-8 any time. I think it's an even better bet, so I quite like that. Well, thanks ever so much for joining us this week. Thanks Malachy for an excellent debut, and thanks Mark and Dan. Don't miss out on all the great postcasts that will be done by Racing and various other parties over the next week or two, and then we'll be back on Thursday. So thanks very much, and please remember to like us on iTunes. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Follow Paddy Power on Snapchat. The username is ThePaddyPower, and we promise there won't be any boring snaps about gigs, the weather, or the gym.